Coming up on Eyewitness News, more local in the morning at 6. In custody, Rockford police nabbing 4 suspects in connection to a shooting and hit and run over the weekend. And up in flames, 4 people nowhere to go after their 2 homes caught fire in McChesney Park. What started it all? Plus, out of line, Illinois lawmakers putting a bandage on underfunded public universities. But one local lawmaker says state-line schools are shortchanged in the deal.
2 stations, more local news. Eyewitness News, more local in the morning on WTVO starts now.
Good morning. Hope your Monday's off to a good start. I'm Matt Rodewald.
And I'm meteorologist Kristen Swiner. And hopefully at least temperatures today will help things out after a beautiful weekend. We get one more very nice day before we start to see those temperatures go down.
Nice to be outside these last few days. Enjoy your weekend a little bit. If you were running around Sunday doing things, it was pleasant.
Oh, yeah.
And today, maybe later on as we get deeper into the day, maybe not so much with the rain.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a little bit of an issue, especially maybe picking up the kids from school or heading home from work. That's when we start to see that thunderstorm threat ramp on up. This morning, though, cloudy start and quiet and dry start to the day as well. Noticing the clouds picking up closer to the Mississippi River. They're thickening up, and this boost of cloud cover is ahead of a system that's now weakening that's passing through Iowa. Stronger thunderstorms arrived yesterday evening in central Iowa, and they've weakened as they got closer to us, so we really just get the cloud cover because of that. We've fallen back just 2 degrees, though, in Rockford to 58. It's 59 now as you're walking out the door in Freeport. 63 degrees still in Sterling, and the coolest spot there, you can see 55 as you're walking out the door this morning in DeKalb. First warn weather risk will be moderate today. Now, it is low through the morning. No thunderstorm threat for us here. Cloudy, and we can see temperatures actually take big jumps as we get into the lunchtime hour. Weather risk will be moderate once we get into the mid to late afternoon with scattered showers and thunderstorms. It'll be possible, and they could even bring some hail with them as well. So we'll talk more about the timing of that as we get closer to your full forecast. But if you'd like to track the weather, you can always do so with our interactive radar, and you can find that at mystateline.com. Matt?
Kristen, thank you. 6 o'clock. Here's what's new and now for you on this Monday morning. A man is hurt after a serious crash overnight in Keith Creek. His fire crews are called to the 2000 block of 7th Avenue, and they found a car with one person trapped inside. That man had to be extricated from the vehicle before being transported to a nearby hospital. He's currently listed in critical condition. Beloit begins a new chapter in law enforcement today. David Zabolski will be officially sworn in as the city's new chief of police. He served as Beloit's interim chief after former chief Norm Jacobs was ousted from the position just last year. The 31-year veteran of law enforcement retired from the Milwaukee Police Department in 2001 after 27 years with that department. And friends and family of the music icon Prince quietly held a private memorial service at his Minnesota home on Saturday. His body was cremated over the weekend, and he will be kept in private. Large crowds of fans continuing to gather outside to pay their respects to the music legend, and there is talk of a musical celebration of his life, but the date for that event has not yet been announced. Also, we are following a developing story for you this morning, a car crashing into a building on Rockford's east side. Eyewitness News reporter Dan Vasco is live at the scene, and he has the latest for us. Dan, what can you tell us?
Matt, police say that 3 individuals, they're looking for 3 individuals, who may be involved with the crash that you see right behind me. Now, witnesses told police that they saw the 3 people leaving the scene just after 4:30 this morning when they suspect that the crash occurred. Now, police say that they were heading northbound on 9th Street, and that's when they crashed into the intersection here, hitting a pole on the intersection of East State and 9th, and then crashing into the side of the arc. You can see right now they have some city officials here to assess the damages, and there are a couple officers on the scene, but the entire front of the car is inside of what appears to be an office, and the window is shattered, and some of the foundation is crumbling underneath as well. We did see about an hour ago there was smoke billowing out of the car, so it was a pretty fresh crash when police arrived. They arrived maybe 10 minutes after it occurred. So they are looking for those 3 individuals right now that are suspected to be involved with the crash, but obviously we're not too sure on injuries, if there were any injuries occurred. We do know that there was no one inside of the arc at the time, so no one in there was hurt. But the city just actually got done cleaning up the pole that was left over. It was actually pretty much into the entire intersection here at East State and 9th, and the city officials then just cleared that out. So next step obviously is to get the car out of the window there and assess the damages from there. But that is the updates that we have for you right now. Live at 9th Street and East State, Dan Vasco, Eyewitness News, back to you.
All right, Dan, thank you very much. Meanwhile, 4 men are in custody this morning in the wake of this weekend shooting on Rockford's east side. It's happening Saturday night in the 1200 block of East State Street. A 26-year-old Rockford man was wounded in that shooting, and his injuries were not considered to be serious. Moments later, though, police say they were involved in a hit-and-run crash at Harrison and 20th Street. The men then took off on foot but were tracked down and arrested, now facing several charges that include domestic battery, resisting a peace officer, and leaving the scene of an accident. Rockford area clergy coming together in hopes of reducing the Forest City's problem with violence by spreading the word of God. Victory Outreach holding its Take Your City event Sunday at Fairgrounds Park. The free food and live entertainment all coming after a rally through the heart of Rockford down both East and West State. And officials believe the only way to change the violent culture is to show people success stories of those who have been able to turn their lives around.
We truly believe that if we come together as a community, that we can affect those that don't understand who Jesus is, and we can change this community. We can turn this thing around.
This is the first event that Victory has done like this, but they say they have more planned for the future going forward. A McChesney Park man is dead after his motorcycle collided head-on with an SUV. Eyewitness News is more local in Winnebago County, where the crash happened at the intersection of 11th Street and Blackhawk Road on Rockford Friday night. Police believe that the 54-year-old motorcycle rider was traveling northbound in a southbound lane of 11th Street when he struck the SUV. His name has not yet been released to the public. The 2 people that were in the SUV were taken to a nearby hospital for some minor injuries. And a Boone County woman has died from her injuries that she suffered in a crash on Thursday. 86-year-old Carol Petty died Friday at OSF St. Anthony Medical Center. The coroner's office saying that she died from her injuries suffered when her car struck a tree. It happened near the intersection of Bates and Flora Roads in Boone County. 4 people are homeless today after a garage caught fire this weekend in McChesney Park. Fire officials say that the blaze started on Saturday in a garage in the 1100 block of Otto Road, but then spread to 2 nearby houses. Fire crews arrived to find one home, I should say, fully engulfed in flames. No word on the extent of the damage, but both homes are considered to be unlivable. No one was hurt in the fire, and the cause of that fire is still unknown this morning. Construction complete on one bridge in downtown Rockford. The Jefferson Street Bridge will be reopening later on this week. It was closed for a second time just last month to finish up repairs. Structural repairs to the bridge's columns and beams were made to lengthen its life a bit. The bridge will reopen Thursday morning at 10 a.m., but Lower Jefferson Street between North Madison and Water Street plans to remain closed until next month. State line runners laced up their shoes Sunday afternoon to help benefit a Rockford mentoring program. The YMCA of Rock River Valley holding their 32nd annual Heritage Run through downtown Rockford Sunday. That run designed to raise funds to bring exposure to the Big Brothers Big Sisters program.
What we're all about in the YMCA is making sure that young people always have a caring adult in their lives. So this, really does a good job of bringing that level of notoriety to the Big Brothers Big Sisters program.
And officials estimate about 500 people took participations in the Heritage 10K and 2-mile run. Vietnam Veterans of America looking to educate the Rockford area about the toxins soldiers encounter and the effects that they have on them. A town hall meeting was held this weekend at Rockford University talking about the birth defects, diseases, and learning disabilities that affect the offspring of soldiers from toxins that they encounter in war. And officials say more education means finding a solution.
We want answers. We want our children taken care of, and we want the generational effects of these toxins to stop. And the best way to get them to stop is through research.
The organization will be holding another event coming up in August. A scary scene in Antigo, Wisconsin this weekend. Police shot and killed a teenager after he brandished a rifle and opened fire at the high school prom there. Police say the 18-year-old shot 2 students as they left the building where that prom was being held. Antigo is right near Wausau, and the 2 students were not seriously hurt, but officers who heard the shots immediately fired on the suspect. He was then taken to a nearby hospital where he died early Sunday morning. A Wisconsin man probably wishes that he didn't have his cell phone in his pocket last week. After accidentally dialing 911 several times, police ended up arresting him on drug charges. 50-year-old Joseph Salinas was biking early Thursday morning when he accidentally called dispatchers in Wausau a few times. Authorities used GPS to locate him, and when an officer pulled up beside him, Salinas said he was busted while on his phone still calling 911. He was arrested for outstanding warrants and for carrying small amounts of marijuana and meth. It is now 6:09. Coming up on Eyewitness News, a state line teacher who's battling ALS gets a surprise from a fencing company. We'll tell you about it. And it's pressure cooker time in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game 7 in St. Louis. A preview coming up next in sports. And Kristen's here. She's got the forecast.
Well, you know what? We do see some breaks in the cloud cover this morning. Clouds increase, but we get one more summer-like day in the forecast. The temperatures, well, they don't last all week. We'll talk about how cool it'll get in the first one forecast right after the break.